where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. And today we are reviewing the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Armada Hotshot. I was super pumped for this figure. I really like this figure a lot. This is the best Hotshot figure, in my opinion. When I think of Hotshot, I think of Transformers Armada. Alright? Overall, say what you will about the Unicron trilogy. We're not going to get into the Unicron trilogy so much. More appropriately, duology. But say what you will about it. Hotshot is a big standout character. You know, he was that youth yellow, good guy character for Transformers Armada. A lot of fans were introduced to him in the early 2000s, and a lot of fans grew up with him. He is really cool. I will say, as awesome as this line has been, as great as Legacy has been as a whole, what is the deal with the lack of mini-cons, Hasbro? Metroplex, no key, no mini-con. What the heck? Starscream, no mini-con, no mini-con ports. At least Hotshot has his rear mini-con port, so he can still interact with Jolt if you have a Jolt figure, whether it's the original release of Jolt or whether it's the 2009 Universe release of Jolt, which that is not a very good figure of Hotshot. So I'm so glad he got an update when he did, because this update is right on the money, in my opinion. They nailed it. He looks so good. He's so cartoon accurate. And of course, he's got his rear axle bazooka, which is awesome. So anyway, here is the packaging. You got that awesome open window there. You got the car art there. You got some robot mode art on the side. You got half of the Legacy Evolution art banner on that side. On the back, you've got some toy shots on the top. You've got the QR code tech spec stuff. And that's pretty much it for the box. And here he is, and he's looking really nice. That awesome bright yellow color with that red body. And I've always loved the harness look that he had. Like he was wearing a flight suit or a driving suit this whole time. It was always one of my favorite aesthetics. Love the visor. He's got his grill blaster pistol. They nailed that too. For his axle bazooka, you just rotate that forward, rotate it around, and honestly, it really doesn't matter which way you rotate it. It still works good. You can bring that visor down for his targeting, and that looks really cool. For comparison, here he is next to his Minicon partner Jolt. In anticipation for this figure release, I had to hunt down an original Jolt just to go with this guy, because I like the original Jolt more than the 2009 release of Jolt with the 2009 release Hotshot. Just overall, I'm just not a fan of that release. It just, as cool as it was to update Hotshot, and I would say the figure was slightly better, mostly because of the articulation. It was just a mess in the shoulder area. Just, yeah, that was my biggest problem with it, was the shoulder area. The car mode looked cool. The robot mode looked cool. You just couldn't move him very well. He just did not have good shoulder design. So, but here's him. Here's him and his partner side by side. They look really, really cool. And also for comparison, here he is next to the Legacy Voyager class Starscream from the last wave of last year's set of Legacy. So you can see them side by side, and you'll notice my Starscream has a different Starsaber. A Starsaber that is way better than the one that came with him. Now, I did not purchase this. This was a gift from a really good friend of mine. His name is Brandon, and he's such a sweet guy. He was ordering one for himself and just took it upon himself to order a second one for me. He got it from some guy on eBay, I think, and from what he told me, it's very affordable. He didn't tell me how much he spent because it was a gift, and that's okay. I didn't ask because it was a gift. But I do love it. it's a nice length. This is such an improvement for Starscream's Starsaber. So if you have the Legacy Starsaber, do yourself a favor, get an upgrade version of the Starsaber. Find somebody who's making one. There's actually been lots of different ones from that I've seen online from different posts and things. So yeah, do yourself a favor and get you one of those. Now, in the case of the Starsaber that came with Starscream, however, it looks very good with Hotshot. So here it is. I do still have it. I didn't get rid of it because Hotshot was one of the first wielders of the Starsaber in Armada, and it actually looks good in his hands. It doesn't look ridiculously tiny in his hands. It's actually, I think Hasbro scaled it for Hotshot, and then I guess maybe they just realized, hey, we don't have enough accessories for the value of Starscream, so let's pack it in with him instead. Or they just designed it like this from the beginning, intended to release it with Starscream from the beginning, and you know, it just ended up being way too small for Starscream, because it is. It does not look good in Starscream's hands. It just doesn't. But it looks good in Hotshot's hands. So there you go. I guess Hotshot has a Starsaber too now. Hotshot's articulation is very good. Head is on a ball joint. That visor can go up and down, as I demonstrated earlier. You get full 360 technically, but his backpack here kind of gets in the way of that. But in and out on the shoulders, upper biceps, single jointed elbows, nothing at the wrist. This is all one piece. Waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, ankles, and toe joints, mostly due to transformation. And then, of course, I also demonstrated that earlier as well. So his rear axle articulates. Transformation is really awesome. This one has the best transformation of all of the Armada mold Hotshots, at least. We're going to start by opening up this chest compartment here. We're going to fold that head in, close that back up. Pull this whole section out and bring it up like so. Make sure that axle is in place. And then just kind of line up his rear pads there on that section there. Next up, we're going to come to the legs. We're going to close that. We're going to come over here. This is on a ball joint. Bring that out. Before we move any of that other stuff around, we're going to fold out that little bit. Do the same thing over here. Bring that out. Fold out that little bit, but don't take off that. Boop. Bring his waist around. Rotate the upper section of the car, like so. And then we're going to collapse his legs in, like so. And then tab his legs together, popping off that part again. Tab this down into place. There's the top of the car all done. Bring the arms, rotate them down, and then just stick them in that gap right there on the side. Do the same over here, rotate that down, stick it in that gap right there on the side, and then just close those leg panels, which become the doors. Make sure everything is clicked in place if it got undone. And there he is in car mode, except we got to put on his blaster. And now he's fully done. So there's his blaster in his car mode. There's his blaster in his car mode. That sounds stupid. There's Hotshot in his car mode, and he looks awesome in his car mode. Now, I know some people have been complaining about the difference in color here, much like with the Earthrise Sunstreaker figure. And yeah, I get it. I get it. That it is a noticeable difference. It is weird, but here's the reason why it is like that. This is casted plastic. So the plastic color was already yellow, which is why, one, the paint doesn't match, because this was casted, this whole section was casted in translucent blue plastic so that you had these nice clear blue windows. So what they did is they painted this top section yellow, which is why it doesn't match. The paint color is close, but it doesn't match because they had to paint it on a different color of plastic. So you have a little bit of that blue almost tinting through the yellow, just a little bit, because you also don't want to cake a whole lot of paint on top of that either, because then you're just going to have like this thick layer of paint. It's going to be noticeable. It's going to be weird looking. So regardless, it was going to look weird. Now, I get it. That's really not much of an excuse, but at the same time, that is why that is that way, just in case you were wondering. All 4 wheels do roll. That was the other cool thing about the Axle Bazooka, is the wheels still articulate, they still roll. And like I said, Jolt still interacts with the figure. So take your Jolt, put him in his little helicopter mode, and then just like in the cartoon, and I love that this still works with the original figure, there's his little mini-con, there's his port, there's his mini-con port, plug him on, bing bang boom, and then just like in the cartoon, there you go. Oh, I love that so much. I am so happy about that. You have no idea. It's the little things, Hasbro. It's the little things. Whoever fought to keep that mini-con port on there, thank you, because not having it on Starscream was a huge disappointment. It really was. The whole thing about Armada was the fact that they were trying to capture all the mini-cons. They got to catch them all to make themselves more powerful to win their war. The mini-cons were the little bots that gave the Autobots and Decepticons an edge against one another, because at that point in their war, they were gridlocked against each other, with both sides having little victories here and there during their war, but not really, making big headway in their war without the mini-cons, which is why they were so important in that series. And it was a big part of the play features of the toys as well. And not having it on a nice modern update is a shame. So thank you for getting Hotshot done so well. This figure is so good. This was a great start to Legacy. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's review of the Transformers Legacy Evolution Year 2. We're officially in Year 2 of Transformers Legacy. Hotshot from Transformers Armada. I, amongst many other fans, am very, very excited for more modern updates to some of these Armada characters. Now, I don't think every Armada character necessarily needs a new update. A lot of them do, but not all of them. But I'm also very excited for Optimus. And I'd be willing to bet money he's this year's Commander class. I've been saying it the whole time, especially amongst my friends and stuff. They've been like, when do you think he's coming out? Wave 2, Wave 3? And I'm like, dude, he's going to be the Commander class. Just based off of the level of engineering that it's going to take, the size, he's going to be a Commander class. I'm just saying it right now. Mark my words. He will be the Commander class. They haven't said it yet, but I'm sure he will be. And I can't wait for it. Oh, a new Armada Optimus. My first Optimus Prime toy was Power Link's Armada Optimus. So I'm very excited, very excited. But what's something from Transformers Legacy Evolution you're excited for coming out soon? Let us know in the comments. And what's a character you really hope to see, whether it's from Armada or from other series that either desperately needs an update or a character who has yet to get a figure? Because if Legacy has proved anything yet, it's that if Hasbro hasn't done it yet, doesn't mean that they'll never get around to it eventually. So stay tuned, we'll know when you know. Stay tuned for more Transformers reviews. Stay tuned for more Bay 12 reviews. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on social media for updates and upcoming reviews. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on social media for updates and posted reviews. Stay tuned for our live sales and come check us out inside the shops at Willow Bend Mall in Plano, Texas, inside Order 66 Multiverse. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.